Yeah, TC.
All right, so everybody settle. Camera's good. Everybody get your white balance okay? Everybody good? Okay. Coach?
I thought overall it was a good day. Really appreciate the folks that came out and to you guys. You were probably up in the press box, so staying warm, but really appreciate the fans and you all coming out. Looked pretty iffy there this morning. About a half hour before we went out, the snow was coming down sideways, but sun came out for a bit. We got our work in, and I was pleased with the scrimmage. I thought, we were basic on both sides of the ball, but it's a fundamental game. It was nice to see Will, be efficient. We all know how talented he is and the arm talent, but it was nice to see some of the receivers step up and make plays for him. I thought all the quarterbacks did a nice job, and between the tight ends, the backs, Chris made a really nice catch to score. I think it was on a third down, which was a really nice play, and I saw Brendan Bates have a really nice catch, in a competitive situation. Dane Key stepped up. Will looked good. So overall, there was some nice playmaking going on out there. Defensively, I thought it was again. Coach White was relatively basic, was what we want to see in the spring, just basic, fundamental, good football, and thought they did some good things. We stayed relatively healthy, so overall productive. A little different. We get to come back and have a couple more practices, which is different for me. It's the first time since I've been head coach here, but that's okay. You get to maybe learn some things from this spring game and take it next week and clean up a few more things and get thoroughly prepared for the spring as far as teaching some of the players what we expect from them when they have to do it by themselves, because there's a period there in the summer when we're not allowed to be with them, when they got to go out and take care of business by themselves and throw and all that. So we will come back with a few practices next week and wrap things up, but all good today.
Jordan Lovett made he had a couple plays out there, made a bunch of tackles. What do you like about his game?
Yeah, he's a very athletic guy. I have high expectations for him. These kind of situations really help him because it's time for him to get very serious about the game and continue to really study and get quality reps out there. And, because he has the ability and we need him to step up and be a player for us. So I think he needs to continue to mature and continue to approach the game in a serious nature. And if he does that, then he'll make some really big strides before next fall.
Mike Drennan was very involved there.
Yeah.
Is he making the progression you want to see from a guy that came in pretty touted?
Yeah, he definitely is. You can see he's talented out of the backfield. He's making some really difficult runs as well and showing some toughness. So we have some options back there, but Michael is certainly doing some good things.
Blocking and tackling is, always get to see it throughout the spring. You got this chance now. What did you, as defensive coach, did you approve of the tackling?
There was definitely sloppy out there. We it's a fine line there with going how many days completely live and getting that work in, So, and again, I think there was definitely some sloppy play out there at times. I got to see exactly who it was and where it came from. But I know there were some missed tackles and position on the football was poor, and that's something that always really bothers me, whether it's in the spring or whether it's early in the season. Just basic fundamental position on the ball and containing the football and making good tackles with good leverage, and certainly there was some sloppy play going on out there today.
This was the first time the fans have gotten to see Rich Scangrello's offense. What would you have to say about how you like the offense today?
It's when it's all said and done, we're very excited about where we're going. We had again, we were relatively basic today, but there's quite a bit of carryover. You could see some nuances. You probably aren't used to seeing a fullback back there sometimes, so that's a little different. But really, you're just moving the tight end around, when you're playing with 12 personnel and how you move them, what you do with them and create different looks. But there's a lot we could do that way. But we're excited about where we're heading with the offense.
Any particular position group that you were impressed with, or any position group you moving forward?
Well, I think, one thing was good to see is I thought the receiver group in general seemed like they make some pretty difficult catches. They may have dropped a few, but overall, pleased with that group.
What's kind of impressed you the most with Dane? Obviously, you had a drop early and then kind of showed maturity by making a couple big plays after that.
Yeah, he has a really good feel for the game. He really doesn't, for a guy that could be, playing spring sports in high school right now. He's very mature in his approach. He's been very consistent. With young guys, you have a tendency to see him have some ups and some downs, and of course that'll be the case with him. But he's more consistent than most younger people I've seen. I like the way he approaches it. He's very mature, and he also has a very good feel for it. The talent's there, but there's also some things that the understanding of the game that you can tell very early that he has that.
Anything going on with Derek Jackson? We see him today.
Derek has been off and on with a couple nagging injuries, nothing major, but he has not been completely healthy.
You mentioned the confidence obviously didn't go anywhere. He scrambled, tried to run a couple guys over there.
Yeah.
On that one, just what did you see out of him, and just how his confidence just will not go away.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to dive and put his head down in a spring game when I'm blowing the whistle. I mean, that's the only thing I was upset about with him today. But no, I mean he's a competitor, as I've mentioned. I mean, you all see it. I mean, every time he takes the field, he's trying to get better. He's competing. He's worried about being the best player for himself. He knows he'll help us when he does that. But he's very driven, and he's getting better in a lot of ways. I felt like he was a little off on one throw today, but most of the time he looked very smooth and very clean. I'm sure Rich and him will watch the film and look at the footwork and all the little things that he's working on to become a even better player.
Looked like Deuce had a little bit of that swagger too on his touchdown throw. Just what have you seen from him?
Yeah, Deuce has shown some signs as well. Just some ups and some downs. Like most guys, but he's had his moments.
You talked about Jordan taking the game seriously. Is that typical for a freshman with red shirts and doesn't get on the field at all or much at all?
Yeah, I'm expecting more out of him. Is what I was saying. I want to continue to push him to be what he can be, and it's not that I'm down on him. It's just that I want him to continue to approach it in a very mature way. And when you take the field in a scrimmage and practice in a game like today, I mean, you have to grow from that. You have to get better. You have to bank those reps. Because when we get out here in the fall, believe me, you're going to see new things. You're going to see different things. The game moves fast. And, you have to be able to, bank all those experiences and be able to carry it over to the field. Because, when he's out there in the fall, I mean, that's you're playing for wins and losses, and can't take any plays off.
What do you feel like your group has proved here this spring?
Pardon me?
Through the practices and today, what is your group proving? What are they showing you that what they're made
The team, or
of?
the team it doesn't surprise me. I mean, I know them. I'm around them all the time, and their approach is very consistent. And we're constantly striving to get better. As I tell them each and every day, each person needs to take that and fundamentally try to get better. And in any area of weakness or the things they do well, continue to improve on it. Things where they're falling short, work hard at it. And if they individually get better, then, we can't help but collectively as a group get better. But you have to have that mindset each and every day. It gets a little monotonous through the spring. It's a long time. These guys are up early every day, and we practice or we're meeting or they're lifting and things like that, and you have to stay consistent.
You're back there behind the offense for most of the day. Were you able to tell much about how the two new tackles were?
Yeah, I thought overall, there were some moments there early where we had some good, we were more firm in the pocket than we were in some other team settings or blitz settings or, practice scrimmages. And then there were the moments where we weren't very clean. I thought for the most part, the ones were pretty solid. And so we'll see. I got to go take a good look at it, but I thought the tackles are holding up.
Mark, with the late coordinator change, how challenging has this spring practice been, and are you where you need to be?
Yes, challenging. We roll with it, adapt and overcome. I mean that's all the time. I mean nothing's ever completely smooth around. You know what I mean with anything. It's just you have to deal with it, and whatever the circumstances are, you deal with it and move on. I thought our guys handled it very well. Our coaches worked very hard. Been working around the clock to get things ready for each practices, and it's different. It's different coming back next week. I mean, usually when the spring's game's over, let's face it, it's the spring. These guys have been up early every day. They've worked all winter, lifting their tail off and then coming out and practicing and meeting. And, when the spring game's over, they're usually ready to wrap it up. But we have to adjust our mindset and come back and take advantage of a couple more days. So it is what it is.
Tackle position, you just mentioned earlier, is it strictly they just need to figure out pass pro, they got run game down, or what is it that they have to?
Well, I think pass pro is definitely something, as you face guys in this league, and you have to win some one-on-one situations. There's always times when we can help and protect, but you can't do that all the time.
Was there a second or third team player that stood out that surprised you?
I can't, I'm not prepared to say that right now. I don't know. I have to watch the film. See.
Bring to the table, I guess, that receiver seems like he made a nice catch there at the end.
Yeah, just some depth and some, works hard, plays hard, good, just another addition.
Mark, we think of somebody, a football coach, as somebody out there on Saturdays diagramming plays and brainstorming strategies, but it seems like there's been a lot more emphasis on teaching the guys lately. Is that something you enjoy?
Absolutely. I think, that's always the case. I mean, you can't play this game and not be intelligent or have some, instincts because there's too many moving pieces and things happen very fast. And, there's 11 guys out there got to be on the same page at all times or you're not going to be successful. So that's always a big part of it. I mean, we spend hours and hours and hours in the film room. We probably spend a lot more time with them teaching them on chalkboards and on grease boards now. But grease boards in the film than you do on the field.
We see Rich as kind of this football genius, this quarterback whisperer. Are you happy with the way he's been able to convey his wisdom, his thoughts to the team?
I love the way he teaches. I love, the knowledge that he has. I sit in there and I like to just listen, and listen to the way he teaches, listen to the way he implements to the coaches, and sit in on quarterback meetings once in a while, and I just like the way he does things. So a lot of knowledge there.
Everybody good?
Thank you all.